All righty, good people. It's Tuesday all day long here on The Record with Brian Summers. It is Good Tuesday. It is sunny and bright outside. I hope you're smiling. Folks, if you're driving home, please be safe across the roadways as you travel and pick up little Johnny and Amy and you're traveling home this Tuesday afternoon. Coming up 77, the traffic, and 40 if you're crossing there. Please be safe. If you drive by Radio Road out here downtown Statesville, we're glad to see you too. Honk the horn as you go by. But this is on the record. Yesterday, I will give some apologies. I was out yesterday. I was not feeling my best yesterday and was a little under the weather. I had traveled, and so was a little under the weather yesterday. So, folks, I do give you my apologies. Those who missed me, some people probably didn't miss me or my voice. But if you did miss me yesterday, I am back today. This is Brian Summers for On the Record in full swing, listening live here on WSIC 100.7 FM, 105.9 FM, and 1400 AM right here on Radio Road, downtown Statesville. So, saying good afternoon, Love Valley, Harmony, Troutman, Mooresville, Cornelius, Davison, all the ways out there. You get it in Statesville, Taylorsville, little parts of Wilkesboro, and Salisbury. I met somebody from Salisbury yesterday. Very, very nice, and had a good conversation with them about Salisbury. So, knowing that we got reach over there is a very good thing. It's a good Tuesday here, folks, and I'm glad for you tuning in as we are here. We're going to have some things. We're going to talk about news, and all the news today on the show. That is what On the Record is today, and we're going to go on the record to get some facts on some things happening and going out there. But you're more than welcome to join in on the conversation. Give me a call here, 704-873-1400, 704-873-1400. And I will say, too, I had a chance to meet him. We had a winner from our contest last week. Last week was our very first Chick-fil-A partnership. And we had Jonathan Beals was the winner last week, and I had a chance to meet him. And so we are extremely happy. At least I know I am very proud to have this partnership going with Chick-fil-A, where we try to give a contestant a meal card for Chick-fil-A, and then we make the same donation to a homeless family here in Statesville at the same time. So we do that kind of in the honor of the Statesville. We feed someone who wins, but we also say to a family that goes a long way, if we can feed a family of four, that's what we're committed to do. So that happens every Thursday, really, is what we're looking at, so the person can pick it up and be able to eat with their family on Friday at our local Statesville Chick-fil-A. We're very thankful to that partnership with David Watson, I'll tell you, and Flora out there. Gorgano is her name. Flora Gorgano, she's the director for the Statesville Chick-fil-A here in this area. So very, very happy. It's exciting things in that aspect. And as you know, as any Tuesday we talk about here on Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, Friday, we talk about it being YMCA Day here with the Statesville Family YMCA. We're still extremely happy and encourage everyone to stop by your Statesville Family YMCA out on Wesley Drive here in Statesville, right off Hartness Road in the heart of Statesville, the Statesville Family YMCA, where you can look into getting a free 3-month membership. Go in, tell them you heard it on WSIC, get signed up for the 3-month trial membership, see how you like it, folks, and stay re-engaged. There's nothing better than the YMCA, where you can go in there and kind of get your heart pumping and all your vitals going in the right direction, and meet some new friends at the same time. They've got a wonderful new painted pool that's open, and they come there at 5 a.m., folks. You believe that? 5 a.m. every day, Monday through Friday. Saturday is at 6 a.m., and then Sundays is 8 to 2 every Sunday, 8 to 2. So 7 days a week, the YMCA is in business there to make sure that you are physically fit for everything you want to do. Not always fit for duty, but to make sure that you're physically fit. So a lot going on at your Statesville Family YMCA, and I encourage you to stop by, check them out, see what they have going on. Wonderful programs from everything you can get from a cardio workout into the dance steps, because they have a program there that's a line dancing class. They have 2 line dancing classes on Wednesdays and on Saturdays. And so I have a couple friends who do those classes, and I did promise them I'm going to check out and slip into one class to see what it's like. But if you get a chance, folks, check that out. Always good to have good partners here within the neighborhood itself. But you can give me a call, 704-873-1400, 704-873-1400. Got some community things to share with you as well. Some things kind of happened. I'm going to be playing catch-up on my birthdays as well. Since I wasn't here yesterday, folks, get an opportunity here. Got I tell you, this is extremely important, I think, to our community. It is the 2023 Life Walk, and that is God formed and knew us in the womb. It is September 30th, 2023, 8:30 to 11 a.m., Statesville High School Track and Field. They're on North Center Street, Statesville High School, and it is put on by the Statesville Pregnancy Resource Center. The Statesville Family Pregnancy Resource Center, folks, it is a Life Walk 2023, and I can tell you that this show right here, On the Record with Brian Summers, we are committed to our $1,200, which is being matched by the overall company, WSIC itself. So a total of $2,400 we'll be presenting to the Statesville Resource Center because we're just that damn committed, and life is just that damn important. So we are all about that here and take life very serious and the encouragement and the commitment to life. So that's the Statesville Pregnancy Resource Center is having that, and it's the Life Walk 2023 at Statesville High School, September 30th, 2023, folks, 8:30 to 11 a.m. And if you know Paul Cook, Eastside Baptist Church, you know, he did it last year. I think they had a commitment, and I think Paul Cook raised like $40,000 or something like that from that church. They did it. I mean, boy, you know, so Paul has all the teams. So if you know Paul Cook, you want to be on his team. If you go to Eastside Baptist Church, you want to be on Paul Cook's team. Paul Cook is the man to make it all happen. I just showed up and I was on Paul's team last year. That's how it was. No, just kidding. But with Carrie Jenkins over there and Victoria Miglin, who's the director, they're doing wonderful things at the Pregnancy Resource Center. And I am encouraged to have them as friends, and so very glad they stopped by the show a couple weeks ago, shared this information, and we quickly jumped on it, and I reached out to see if we could get a match of what we committed to do from On the Record to the Resource Center, and WSIC is going to match that here. So very exciting, and just, you know, life matters in so many ways, folks, and so no matter what the circumstance or how it happens, just know that a young lady or a couple are not left in a terrible situation at all. That we stay hopeful and prayerful for the best to help them through those moments where there are challenging times. And so that's what we're supposed to do. At least I know that's what I think my calling is, to make sure that I do the right thing and that we help to push forward the right thing and go in the right direction. So life matters. Life matters. Can't say that enough. Life matters. All right. So you got a chance. You want to give me a call, 704-873-1400, 704-873-1400. I'd like to talk to you. Want to talk about some things happening, particularly here. If you found out today what's going on nationally, we are still under the threat of a government shutdown, a federal government shutdown from Washington, D.C. Now, to my understanding, I got this pretty reliable source that the Budget Committee passed a 9-3 vote so that there could be an advance of a bill to the floor if it could get out. So get out of committee on a 9-3 vote. It is on its way to the floor there in the House of Representatives. You know, folks, if you remember civics in any way, that the House of Representatives, the Congress, House side, is responsible for all financial aspects domestically, particularly. And so budgets originate in the House of Representatives, and then they go on to the Senate. Then they get together and work for a compromise. So that's how that works. All right. But this is On the Record with Brian Summers. Be right back after the break.
There's more On the Record with Brian Summers on the way. 100.7 WSIC.
All righty, folks, we're back here on this Tuesday afternoon. I hope you are in trust that you are driving home safely. And if you're on your way home, you're thinking about somewhere to stop off to maybe get some good food on your way home, think about my good friends over at Randy's Barbecue. They're at the corner of Front Street and Old Salisbury Road. We had some WSIC folks going there for lunch today. Said it was pretty good to them. I said, pretty good? No, and then they replied and said, no, Randy's Barbecue is damn good. And so I was extremely happy to have that. And so I wanted to send off there to make sure if you're driving home, may not want to have dinner ready and made tonight, or you may just have a lot going on. It's the beginning of the week and early. And so you might want to give mom or dad a break and say, let's go out, let's grab a bite to eat, and let's go to Randy's Barbecue. Even though I will say I missed yesterday was Cheeseburger Day. National Cheeseburger Day was yesterday. I was up at Sharp's, up on Crawford Road, Sharp's Cafe, and a little lady in there, she said to me, you missed us yesterday. We had, it was an awesome day. We had a cheeseburger decorated staffer employee in there and had on a cheeseburger costume, and she was taking pictures with all the staff. Really had a good time up there. So they told me I missed that yesterday. I said I was a little under the weather. I was really trying to make it, but just a little bit. Sometimes you're very busy. I had flown. Again, I'm going to have to spend a weekend where I'm not in the air somehow, some way. We got to make that happen. But anyway, National Cheeseburger Day was yesterday, so couldn't think of a better place to get a good, decent cheeseburger than out there at Sharp's Cafe. I was willing to get right into it. So anyway, if you had a chance, that's what you missed out on yesterday. We were talking, folks, just before the break. We got up to it and was listening to some things about what was kind of happening going on, particularly with our Congress, about the deficit was going, where they're going to keep a budget going, or we're going to have a federal government shut. I got to tell you, with my 32 years on Capitol Hill, I went through three government shutdowns. The first government shutdown I experienced was in 1998. And that's when things really came to a halt. We were really trying to get parts of some spending under control, and Clinton was the president, and Republicans had control of the Congress and the purse strings, and we couldn't get together. And so I think we had almost a 9 to 12 day government. It was not pretty because I tell you, you work there, you're staff in the Congress, but you are really the member, and maybe one other person are the essential ones in the office. Everybody else spends time out of the office in a way they get to go from home. So I've experienced that on that aspect of being essential to the office, because through the negotiation of legislation budgets to make sure that the members in where they are. And I was like, I got a call coming in here. Let's see who we got here. Good afternoon, caller. You're on the air with Brian Summers. This is On the Record. How are you? Good afternoon, caller. You're on the record with Brian Summers. How are you? Hello? Caller, can you hear me? Hello, caller, can you hear me? Well, we seem to have lost that caller. But caller, you're welcome to call back. So I don't know what's going on with the phones, but we had a caller in. I can tell you I lived through 3 government shutdowns. Not a pretty thing. Folks get all kind of stressed out about things, and then, of course, in the D.C. area, they start trying to say, what can be done, and of course, the media blows it way out of proportion, and the people are gonna, worry about it. Well, the government will always make good on what it promises and what it's doing, but sometimes negotiations become tough and necessary. And I think for the first time back in 1998. The Congress really got the nation's attention with this government shutdown. It had never really been floated before, because we always did things to preserve and keep the country going. So that was absolutely very important in itself. So at any rate, but we're talking about that's still looming. They got till September 30th to kind of figure this out on whether or not we're going to be able to have a short term, as we call a stopgap passage of what's going on there of spending money, which gives us another 30 days on top of it. But so far, Speaker Kevin McCarthy is having a hard time. He was 3 votes short in a vote that went to the floor about about 4 hours ago. So as reported, it was pretty embarrassing to have a bill when you're in charge of the floor. You always make sure that you have the votes, or you don't take a bill to the floor. That's really lesson 101 of politics in any way, whether you're leadership or you're just a staffer or you're there, to count the votes, to whip the votes. You never put a bill on the floor unless you have the votes to pass it. You just don't do it. And so I'm really surprised that even went that far, to be three votes short. Embarrassing when you're the majority. That should not be happening. And so we got to figure out how to do things better. I'm not quite sure where everybody in the Freedom Caucus was. I don't think they supported this wholeheartedly. Maybe not. I'm not sure. Nor were the supposedly make things happen, the moderates there in Congress, whereas moderates, Democrats, and Republicans, they've got a caucus. Everybody's got a caucus up there because everybody gets offended and everybody has their feelings hurt, and so I want my own club, and so they go out and start their own damn caucus to a degree. But that's just a little inside of what goes on in D.C. jargon. Anyway, we're talking about the deficit. Come to find out today, folks, a release that said $33 trillion. $33 trillion is what is the new U.S. debt. Our debt is $33 trillion. I can remember back when we thought $8 trillion in the 1990s was just too much, way too much. And here we are now, 3 times that here in 2023. Folks, we've got to do something about this spending, the out-of-control spending. People say, well, it's inflation, the economy is really bad, it's sluggish. But we've got a lot of entitlements that we really need to rein in and get control of some of this spending. I know that COVID has hit, and we're trying to rebound through that and recapture a part of it. I don't think we need to be going up on interest rates through the Fed to make this any more higher. But anyway, I'm willing to take calls and listen to you all about what you think is going on in Washington or not going on in Washington. Also, there is an inquiry into Hunter Biden, President Biden's son, and President Biden himself through one of the House committees that has been started up. I think they even tried to set a date yet for a hearing. So we'll kind of see where that goes. With everything else going on, we just need to really focus on the things that really matter. But you can call me up, 704-873-1400, 704-873-1400. Meanwhile, I'll get into some kind of other things, kind of what's happening, particularly here that was going on. I thought, this would be of interest to talk about today and see what is going on, what's happening. I tell you, I got a I don't even want to call him a pessimistic pest friend out there who sends me these little things whenever he's trying to get my attention or get me off course for something. But I will not be moved by any means. So, so nice try, keep trying, but it's all good. Good brother, and I know exactly what's going on here. So we're going to keep on going. But anyway, I had some things I put in and we were talking about doing and looking at. The United Nations has had their General Assemblies open up today. This is the 78th United Nations. They're in New York. And there'll be diplomats coming from around the country and the world. Diplomats coming into U.S. from around the world. We've got some countries that are not participating, namely Russia. There'll be no diplomats from Mexico, Iran. The United Kingdom have all chose not to send their official ambassadors, envoys to the UN delegations going on right there. But who did show up was the Ukrainian President Zelensky. And he gave a speech there about 2 hours ago. But first part of the morning, it was President Biden. Joe Biden spoke there. I think it may be his second time as president speaking before the United Nations. But really nothing new in his speech, in my opinion, other than how the world needed to come together and support Ukraine. And we needed to really make sure that it was a unilateral support globally for Ukraine and what they were going through. And so that was Biden's plea upon the world on the stage there. And then, of course, Zelensky came right behind it and called Russia evil and said that the world needed to stand up and everybody, do what they can for Ukraine. And so that's what you had kind of going on there at the United Nations, in my opinion. A lot of begging and pleading going on, but not a real lot of negotiation. I was surprised that no one talked about the wars going on the continent of Africa. Going on right now. There are civil wars going on in Sudan and Niger. kind of happening right now, and South Sudan, and so lots of atrocities and tragedies taking place over there. But I did not see anything out of the United Nations whether they were going to address the warfare going on the continent of Africa. But anyway, folks, that's just my things that were in my purview to talk about a little bit today and make mention of some national things going on. But look here, closer to home, crime is still an issue here in Statesville, particularly. Crime, we're looking at some things. Car larcenies are still happening. Burglaries are going on. We've had some violent crimes kind of going on as well, too, folks. Going on. Shootings are still taking place here, and that's what's happening. In Statesville City, crime seems to, I won't say it has to be on the rise, but it's not in a good place. And anytime crime is the leading thing that will keep people from moving or relocating or investing in your city, it is time for you to look at what's working and what's not, and then there needs to be a full on-hands approach from law enforcement, meaning i.e. the police department, the district attorney, and then these judges. But they need to not have their hands tied by Raleigh with laws that don't make sense. And we need to enforce the laws on the books. We need to have a tough approach to some of this going on. That's my opinion. That's the way I feel. And you all know how to reach me and where to find me. Should you want to, you don't like what I'm saying, you can always meet me out back. I'll be there. I'll see you there as soon as this show is over. I'm Brian Summers for On the Record right here at WSIC. Be right back after this break. God bless you. I'm here still.
More on
All righty, folks, back here right now, and so it's a awesome day, awesome day. I tell you, when good things can kind of happen, it's an awesome day. I'm extremely happy and blessed by this day for sure. But we were talking before the break got into it, talking about some of the things kind of happening here, and we're talking about crime in Statesville. One of the things, someone reached out to me, if you heard from about a week ago. There had been, in the middle of the afternoon, looks like about 12:30 in the afternoon it took place, there had been somebody with reported a machete here in Statesville, in a particular area where there's a school at, and that the fact that this all took place in the middle of the afternoon near where there are two schools and had to lock down the school. So apparently, according to Statesville Police Department, they made an arrest of this, and apparently the gentleman they arrested, or the two people they got arrested, was a David Morgan, and this took place from a machete attack on September 7th. And so come to find out, there's a homeless population living out off Pump Road and Pump Station Road particularly. And what happened was there was an altercation out there, and the Statesville police had to be dispatched. But what do you do when you come up on a homeless camp and there's no physical address? And our officers, our fine law enforcement officers, whether it be Iredell County or Statesville PD, have no idea what they're going into or the situation. But some good news came out of it for sure. Law enforcement's always diligent on their job, and we support them wholeheartedly. Statesville police detectives were able to continue pushing for investigation and getting good, reliable sources, and led to an arrest of a gentleman out there who had been the perpetrator of this attack. So it leads to a bigger question, and somebody emailed me and said, what is going on with the rise of homelessness in Statesville? And all I could kind of really do is I've reached out to try and get some stats from the Department of Health Social Services, particularly on homelessness going on here. And this is not to say about Fifth Street Homeless Shelter. They house individuals and maybe some families, but folks, I got to tell you, there's a growing number, and you're seeing panhandlers more and more in the Statesville area here who are, panhandling in the middle of intersections on our streets. You're getting people who are sleeping on porches of homes that are occupied by people, believe it or not, on people's back porch. Trespassing, if you had to look at it in a legalistic manner, something's going on here, folks, and I don't know, it's not being addressed, in my opinion, and folks know I do have an opinion. It's not being addressed in I think, in a legible way, the homelessness and the growing problem of people who have mental health. And mental health doesn't mean that everybody is to be locked up. That just means we got to figure out some way to treat this stuff and to deal with it this way. So people can be dangerous. Some people don't even know how dangerous they are, depending on what environment they are. But homelessness is on the rise here. Homelessness is on the rise. These petty thefts, car vehicle break-ins, burglaries going on, people stealing small items from porches and homes and out of cars. It is a growing problem. Crime is on the rise locally here for sure. My opinion, from everything I see, is going on. And so we're going to have to figure out what we're going to do. People like to promote and say, Statesville, where it all comes together. Well, it can't come together around crime if people are afraid to come here or afraid of walking our streets or not. I mean, I got to tell you, walking downtown Statesville, and then, there are people coming up to you asking you for money, or you doing that with your family, and you can't walk down the sidewalk downtown without someone asking you for money, panhandling you for money, or, you got anything, or maybe even coming up to your car. So I got to imagine what that impact is on a business downtown and what's being done about it. And I mean, again, this is not, beating up on the most vulnerable of our society. That's not where what I'm saying at all, folks. But there is a growing homeless problem here, and we have got to try to treat. We cannot become San Francisco. We cannot become Seattle. We cannot become Charlotte, where you go down and there's tent city as you pull off 77 or some of the streets there at South Park and around that area or North Lake area. We cannot become those environments where people are at. And so there's a better way, a humane way to try to deal with this. But as everything rises up and things get out of control everywhere else with inflation and crime, it is building to not being a good, stable environment in our country. I don't think we're in the best position right now. And it's so much going on. There's so much going on. And folks, again, with families and what people have to deal with. And so the economy, inflation, crime, it is not a good recipe, folks. It is not a good recipe at all. So I have faith that but we have to address these issues, I think, as a community, I think as a city and a county. There has to be something, and it's not all to be put on one particular agency or one particular church or one particular segment of the community. All of us, really have to do our diligence and do our part to make sure we address, because we all want to live in safe cities. We all want to live in a safe community. We all want our families to be safe when they go out, when we go out. I am talking about someone just had a van burglarized at their house at 7 o'clock in the morning. It's daylight, folks. At 7 o'clock in the morning, they're getting ready to go out, take their kid to school, and find out one of the doors on one of their vehicles is open. And they've stolen everything they could out there except a power saw, and they didn't take that because it was too big and didn't have the battery that they could, go out and fence for, I'm sure. But this happened at 7 o'clock in the morning in broad daylight, folks. So, a theft happened. And I don't see enough urgency I would even go as far, and somebody's going to get mad, and I'm stepping in their feelings, elected officials, folks. People ran on, change, and what they wanted to address, and then they're silent on the things that's going on. So when you call your elected official and talk to them about crime in your neighborhood, what do they say? You talk to them about crime going on in your community, what do they say? And so, that's an appropriate question when you can get a call back. Sometimes I've talked to some folks around town, told me they've called people, and they're still waiting for a phone call. I just don't know how to, and good reason, you run for public office and don't want to return calls when you were wanting and seeking to vote. Everybody, couldn't get rid of you. You're up in everybody's face and trying to get every voter, go vote. We need change. We need change. Is all you kept hollering. And now we can't get you on the phone, can't find you. And so what say you? What's going on there, folks? Anyway, call me up. Anybody can call up, dispute what I'm saying, say it is not right, it's not fair. I'm just beating up on people. I'm not beating up on me. Trust me, I am not out there beating up on anyone. I'm only trying to, again, I'm presenting a different view, and this is my view. I'm Brian Summers. This is on the record, and this is my position. What say you? 704-873-1400, 704-873-1400. I will say this, too. In the break, I ended up passing out the Chick-fil-A winner of last week, Jonathan Bills, came here and he got his, and so I'm very excited about that. And I still feel very good. We here at WSIC, we're going to do our part to try and combat homelessness, try to combat hunger, and do what we can for reading as well. Those are three things we're committed to, which is homelessness, hunger, and literacy, to make sure that we try to really tackle those, that we have a good, healthy environment in our city, in our schools, and all the way around, because it does take a family. And so go to a good church, get to a good church where, not that you got to go there for you need support. You need spirituality, and spiritual support is very, very important. I know I can tell you about next Tuesday at Sharp's Cafe up on Crawford Road, 4 o'clock. There is a Bible study, folks, a Bible study. A Bible study is taking place, led by Scott Townsell up there. And if not for the hour right before my show, I'd be there. But there's a Bible study going on right there at Sharp's Cafe next Tuesday. Brian Summers on the record.
Keep it right here. On the Record with Brian Summers will return after this short break. Summers on the new 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
All right, folks, we're back here. The hour sure did go fast today. This is On the Record with Brian Summers here at WSIC, 1400 AM, 100.7 FM, 100.5.9 FM. So you can get us all on those platforms. We're on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. You can get us on all those: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn, all platforms, folks, and also Apple Pay. I understand that through Apple Pay, you can also find WSIC right there. So that's a good thing. We're talking about things going on particularly, and I always kind of fussing about crime a little bit going on here. Just wanted to share that about the crime being on the rise here, and still got about 12 minutes. We'll take your call up to the top of the hour, 704-873-1400, 704-873-1400. Wanted to share with you particularly what's going on in the community. I always try to keep up to date with those, and appreciate people who tag me and send me good information for community going on aspect. We want to kind of be that station. Saturday, September 23rd, it's going to up. It looks like it's until sold out, from 5 p.m. until sold out. It's a fish fry fundraiser taking place at New Hope Baptist Church out on New Hope Church Road, New Hope Road in Statesville. That's New Hope Baptist Church. They're having a fish fry on Saturday, September 23rd from 5 p.m. until, and I'm not quite sure what that until really means, but that's what's going on there. And then a crafting for Christ. That's going to be at Providence Church of the Living God, 3634 Hickory Highway, and that's Saturday, the 30th of September. It's at 4 p.m. You can check that out as well, too, folks. Lots of things happening in the community. We got another one here from, it looks like an event taking place at Northview Church of Christ to host a special carnival September 30th. So that's Northview Church of Christ holding a crafts carnival as well. And good information, folks. So glad you all tuning in. This is good stuff. We're going to read over the birthdays right away because I run out to some birthdays. Some folks had birthdays and they sent in information. We got to get that to the top of the hour. It's always important to remember the birthdays. And the fact that we weren't here yesterday, I've got a very special birthday. Probably you were born here in Iredell County States for the last 40, 50 years maybe. I'm going good that long. Dr. Curtis Abel. Curtis Abel, Dr. Abel. Most of the people know him as Dr. Abel. I will say it and can say that since I've retired and moved back here, he's become a good friend of mine and a mentor. He is in a Rotarian club with me. We're both Rotarian brothers. In the Greater Statesville Rotary Club. We're also in a history club together as well, too, as we are both thinkers and appreciate for good history and a good conversation. And I dare say, too, he is extremely bright and has a big heart. So Dr. Curtis Abel out there, happy birthday to you. I know you're going to be traveling, and so safe travels to you. Enjoy your family. But happy birthday, Dr. Abel. From a lot of people, when I put this on Facebook this morning, they chimed in and said, hey, tell Dr. Abel hello and happy birthday to him. So I'll share that with you, Doc. Also, Dan Doddard up there in Love Valley. Happy birthday, Dan Doddard. Just met you on a show a couple weeks ago. Cheryl Waldo Pierce, happy birthday to you. Jacqueline Brown, Lauren Holland, not to be confused with Lori Holland. And then Kay Rogers from the Iredell Statesville School System. Long time, great person. Miss Rogers in the guidance department, I think, out of the high school system. Miss Kay Rogers, happy birthday to you. Sophia Taylor, happy birthday to you. Kelly Garrison, happy birthday. Kimberly Gordon, happy birthday. Shania Threats, happy birthday to you as well. And boy, this is someone I knew, grew up and went to high school with as well, too. Darlene Michelle Miller Sherrill, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Darlene Michelle Miller Sherrill from Miller Avenue, of course. But happy birthday to you, young lady who just turned 25 today. And my good friend Ricky Bell from New Edition, happy birthday. Erica Pfeiffer down there at South Iredell, happy birthday to you. Trina Chance, happy birthday. Tawanda Braxton, happy birthday to you as well. Monique Lenny, I grew up with her too, and Sister Tanya, but yesterday was Monique Lenny's birthday, so happy birthday to you, Monique Lenny out there. And Lisa Hardick, happy birthday. I'm getting these in yesterday because I wasn't here. Joyce Davidson, happy birthday to you. Carrie Michelle Lawing, happy birthday to you. And C-SPAN man, Mr. C-SPAN himself, my good friend up in D.C., Steve Scully. Steve Scully, happy birthday. You ever watch C-SPAN? And the voice behind that is my friend Steve Scully from C-SPAN/CNN up there. And then Michelle Harris, happy birthday. David Jenkins, happy birthday. Carrie Brown, happy birthday. Heather Marsh, happy birthday to you as well. And Keely Kane, happy birthday to you. We got Jonathan Beaver, happy birthday. So Stacy Long Williams, happy birthday to you. Nikki Crawford, happy birthday. So that kind of wraps up our birthdays, folks, as we getting through a lot of these. And just glad that you are all having a birthday. I hope you thoroughly enjoy it and know that we sincerely appreciate you for tuning in here on WSIC On the Record with Brian Summers. Folks ask me all the time, kind of what is your show about? And I try to let them know it's a little bit about national politics, local politics, a little bit about your down-home information. We want to be your kind of in your neighborhood, kind of a neighbor on your street, kind of a get-to-know. And so part of our get-to-know tomorrow, September, is National Recovery Month, and tomorrow we're going to have two folks in from Walk Recovery, which they're going to be doing down at Troutman. Tomorrow I'm going to have two folks on the show who are going to talk about the Walk for Recovery, which is taking place in Troutman down there at the ELC Park, and that's going to be very important and a good show to tune into. And then on Thursday, folks, guess who I'm going to have? I'm going to have on my show right here Pamela Lentz. She's going to be here. She's going to talk to us about the Daughters of the American Revolution. She's also going to help us celebrate Constitution Week with a special treat. And so I'm all excited to have Pamela Lentz in here on the show on Thursday. And Friday, we're going to kind of keep it in the tradition of what we've always done here on Friday, which was kind of free wilding and Friday to a degree. But after Thursday's show with Pamela Lentz Spate, I'm sure it'll be very interesting. So, but that's what's going on. It's kind of have some programming in front of that. We'll also share some news and tidbits in between as well. But that's the show for tomorrow and the show for Thursday. So getting a little heads up. If you want to know anything about Daughters of the American Revolution, you'll want to tune in on Thursday. My guest will be Pamela Lentz Spate. And if you know anything about cemeteries the last 3 or 4 months, she has hit a ton of cemeteries in our area. Not that she's died, no, not at all, but she's went there and researching and doing some, some really good historical work and preservation and cleaning headstones, and she's awesome. So she and I have chatted before, and I thought Constitution Week is a good week to have you on here. And then I am trying, if I can catch up with him, Steve Hill is going to be helping me and assist with my my trivia questions to get folks more engaged. He's going to provide the trivia questions for me for the week, which I'm going to put out there and see if we can get answers going. So Steve Hill of Downtown Statesville Historical Collection, he is going to provide my trivia questions every week. Is the commitment we're going to do, and I'm putting Steve on the spot for that. But that's what we have going on, folks. So it's going to be exciting. We got some great partnerships. I can tell you that Wednesday after the show, tomorrow, I will be heading over to Randy's Barbecue. Yes, Randy's Barbecue, because you know that Wednesday night at Randy's is WSIC night, folks. It is WSIC night at Randy's Barbecue every Wednesday night, starting at 6 o'clock. You find me in there, and I'm having my single barbecue sandwich with red slaw and 3 hush puppies and my Arnold Palmer. And if you walk through the door and you ask for Wendy and you smile at her, tip her well, she'll hook you up on that too. But no, all the people down there at Randy's Barbecue are awesome. That goes for Wendy, that goes for Candy, Olivia, that goes for Colin and Keena down there, and all the wonderful Summer down there as well too. They're all wonderful people, but most awfully to Randy and for starting that. And so Robin, for sure. We're very thankful to have them in our community. They're good community partners. They serve good food, good hospitality. And if you want a place to go before or after Bible study tomorrow night, Randy's Barbecue is when you want to go, folks. It is that kind of environment that you want to go in. Down home, it still has that down home feel where you go in and you almost want to kick your shoes off. Not really, but you don't want to leave when you've had a good food there. And so, but anyway, so it's the barbecue chicken. That's the food for tomorrow night. It's the barbecue chicken special at Randy's tomorrow night. I can't talk about that enough. So you can meet me there a little bit after 6 tomorrow. I'll be there. And of course, you can get Randy's famous banana pudding. That's the banana pudding, folks. And again, today, some staff from here went over. Justin and Ben went there today, and they didn't take me along with them. And my feelings are a little hurt. There goes even with them feelings again. So they didn't take me to Randy's barbecue, but that's okay. I was a little not feeling all that well anyway, but that's okay. Me and my buddy Joe Berg, who's going to follow me next with the Sports Hour, we're going to hit up Randy's real soon. I know he went in there, but I want him to go with me because he can really see how you get the lay of the land when you're going with somebody that they really like and they got your picture on the wall. It makes a big difference. That's down there. Somebody's calling me, and I got a minute left in the show. Who is this? Let's see. Hello, I got like literally 30 minutes. This is Brian Summers on the record. Who am I speaking with?
Now, you know I'd go to Randy's barbecue with you. Don't say because Ben and I are at Randy's barbecue and you at the high school with the kids doing the Lord's work. You over here telling people I didn't invite you to Randy's. Come on now, Mr. Summers. You're the local man.
This is Justin Kazepis, folks, all the way from the big city of Cornelius.
You know I'd go to Randy's barbecue with you any day of the week. Come on now.
Hey, you know when Ben sent me that picture, and I was like, man, I got to send him this. I'm over here, thank goodness I don't eat the cafeteria food at Statesville High School, but I just had to say, man, I was like, what I got to do to get an invite on that train? Of course, Ben just kind of like told me everything you had to eat. He said, oh, yeah, he had the barbecue plate and a foot long. I said, man, let me find out that.
I couldn't put it down. I couldn't put them both down.
Nah. He said you put it away. You didn't put it down. He said you put it away. So
no, now he's telling lies. Now I know Ben's telling lies.
No, he was teasing. But I'm glad you guys got in there and had a great time. Really, really good stuff. But you know what? It's top of the hour there, boss. Got to go. On the record, Brian Summers. See you later.
Bye-bye.
The new